Hey students, and welcome to the third lesson in the home music theory course. Today I'm going to be showing all about symbols. We're going to be going over dynamic signs, tempo markings, DS, DC, Coda. They're kind of like repeats. Articulation's very important, and these are important both for piano playing and writing music, and then sharps and flats, things like that. So we're going to cover a lot again today, so make sure to pay attention. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about today are dynamic signs, which is how loud you're going to be playing the piano. So just go over this list here. P, piano, means soft. You're going to play the piano, softly. Loud, forte. Mezzo piano, moderately soft. Mezzo forte, moderately loud. Pianissimo, very soft. Fortissimo, very loud. Now you may be thinking, like, how am I gonna remember this? Remember this: P means soft, F means loud. P piano, F forte. You have double F, so if F is loud, double F is very loud. If you have P, double P is very soft. Big PP energy here, or small PP energy, as PewDiePie would say. Anyways, you got BF, PP, F, F. So that makes sense, right? So P, you have twice as much as that, so you're very soft. Then you have MP and MF. You think about this mezzo as moderately or medium. So you have medium soft, medium loud. Now the thing about medium soft is that medium soft is louder than soft. You're bringing it into the middle. Medium loud is less loud than loud. So you think about it, oh, they wrote it out perfectly here. So you have pianissimo, you have piano, you have mezzo piano, mezzo forte in the middle here, because they're bringing it towards the middle. So they really do write that out well. Forte, fortissimo. Crescendo means you're gradually getting louder. Diminuendo, gradually softer. So here you can fill all of these out. It's really not hard. Onto the tempo marks. This is how fast you're going to be playing the piece. So remember when we were talking about rhythm, tempo is how fast you count by 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. So we have our different, these always appear at the beginning of a piece. So largo is very slow, adagio is slow, andante is moving along, moderato, allegro is quickly, cheerfully, and then vivace is lively and fast. You're just going to be up to you to really memorize this list of words, go over it again and again, make flashcards if you need to. You should never be beyond flashcards. Ritardando means gradually slower. Accelerando is the opposite. Gradually faster. In writing music, tempo marks tell I don't know exactly what 3 words they're going for. It probably tells you rate of speed, fast or slow. I don't know really exactly what they're asking for. But so long as you get tempo, really tells you how fast to play. A very slow tempo marking is, and then you find the one there. It's lively, so then you're matching them. And everybody knows how to do this matching thing we did in 5th grade, probably. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Staccato. More symbols for you. Staccato you're playing the notes very short. Accent, hitting those with more force. Sforzando, you hit it with more force. A sudden strong accent. So similar to these. A lot of times with sforzando, you'll have like piano afterwards, so you'll hit it strong and then come off of it. It's the one difference I've really noticed. Tenuto, it means to hold for its full value. So remember staccato, we're making them short. Well, with tenuto, you're holding them for their full value. Not necessarily slurring them, Like still a little bit of space in between, but not much. Fermata, you're holding the note, whatever's under the fermata, longer than its value. So if this is a quarter note worth just 1, you can hold it for 2, you can hold it for 4, whichever, as long as it's approximately twice, I guess they say, that's duration. All right, this is just really applying what you learned here. Again, this is like a lot of memorization stuff, but please make sure that you go through and understand. All right, now time for DC, DS, Coda, and Fine. This gets everybody. So da capo, DC, del segno, DS, fine, or fine, and then Coda, this thing. So DC means from the beginning. So here, from the beginning. DS means back to the sign. So here you got DS, you know, you're going back to the S symbol kind of thing, whatever that is, the thing you draw in 5th grade. And then you got fine, that means finish. And then this is the coda, which is this bullseye looking thing, is like an added ending. So here you go. DC al fine, you play the piece all the way through. I think of this as the half repeat is what I call this, because you play it all the way through, you go back to the beginning, and then you play to fine. So again, all the way through, you get to DC al fine, you play to fine. All the way through, back to fine. Easy, right? Or at least until it says DC al fine, and then back to fine. Because it can go longer than that. DS al fine, same thing. You get to DS al fine, except instead of going back to the beginning, which meant da capo, you go back to the segno, the symbol. So you play all the way through to DS al fine, symbol to fine. This one, all the way through, beginning, back to fine. This one, all the way through, sign, back to fine. So we're cutting off those two. DC al coda. You play all the way through to DC al coda. You go to the beginning. Remember, DC means the beginning, not the sign. That's DS. So you get to here, DC, back to the beginning. And this is like if you've ever played Portal. This is the portal that jumps you to this portal. I'm serious. Like if you play the game, you're probably gonna know what I'm talking about, right? So you play all the way through to DC. You start at the beginning. Oh, you hit the portal, and you wind out over here. I don't know. Makes sense to me. And then DS al coda, you go to here. Now it says DS, right? Segno, sign, from the sign. You go back to the sign. You play to the portal, and the portal portals you over to the coda. So you have DS, back to the sign, back to the portal, to the coda. Got it? So I'm gonna actually officially call that the portal from now on. Ear training and all the likes. Do this. Get the book if you need. You know, it's all in the CDs in the back. All right, we're going to continue. We're going to do another chapter here, another unit. Flats, really easy. So say with this note right here, A, and this little B sign means it's flatted. So here is so easy. So what you do is you find A. Boom, there's an A. Specifically the A they have here. You would normally play with your right hand, but I'm extending here. So you got A. All you got to do for flat is you move one into the left. Usually a black key, but not always. So there's A flat. Pretty easy, right? Let's go over these ones together. Let's assume these are all treble clef. So you got E flat. Normally E would be right here. You just go down one. This one G. So hitting G, you go down one. B, you go down one. D, you go down one. Here's what I want to talk about. F flat. F's right here. You go down one. You're like, wait a second. F flat is E. Well, yes, it is. And that's because anytime you don't have the black keys in between, which happens between B and C, E and F, when you flat it, it will just be that next white key down. Whereas if you had E flat, you do have a black key there, flatting it there. So just keep that in mind. You can fill out the rest. It's really not that crazy. I really find that most students understand the flats and sharps pretty easily. Now, there is a rule with flats, and I do want to show you this one. Well, maybe we'll show it here in a little bit, so I'm just going to continue. Actually, never mind. You have sharps now. Sharps the opposite. Some kids call it the hashtag. Please don't call it the hashtag. Call it a sharp. So you have F-A-C, C sharp. So C would normally be here. Oops. And C flat would be here. But this time we're doing C sharp. It goes up and to the right. There is C sharp. Say I had E sharp. Well, here's E. Well, remember, because there's no black key there, E sharp is literally F. Pretty easy, I think. All right, go through these examples on your own. You know, write out what note this is. We'll do this one together, or at least the part of this one. Let me show you what I'm actually talking about here. So you have this note here. You're like, something sharp. All you got to do is go the opposite way and say, all right, what note were we sharping to get there? Well, that's F sharp. Same thing here. Something sharp, right? Well, what note were we coming from? We're coming from C, C sharp. I'm just writing this one just because this one does get people, because you have to kind of think backwards a little bit. This is sharp something. We came from G, so this is going to be G sharp. You know how to do the rest, probably. Same thing with the flats. It's the other way, though. You're like, all right, well, what note is this? It's something flat. Well, what note were we coming from that we flatted from? B. Boom. B flat, and you can figure out the rest. Naturals cancel out a sharp or a flat, so you just play the note like normal. So you got B natural. Here's B. Oops. Here's B on the piano, and here's B natural. Just like that. Now you may be thinking, Tim, why would you need a natural when you can just write it like normal? Because they like to drive you crazy. But no, that's not the only reason. There's actually a reason behind it. And that is that there's a rule with sharps and flats that I actually wanted to get to earlier, but now we're here, which is amazing. So here's a rule with sharps and flats, and it is thus. So if you have, say, a full measure of G's in 4/4 time signature, boom. And say this first one is a sharp. This sharp permeates throughout the rest of the measure. So not only is this a G sharp, this is a G sharp, this is a G sharp, and this is a G sharp. This one is a G natural, which they've been nice enough to write the natural. So whenever you have a line, so within it affects all the notes to the right of that note of the same note, within the same measure, and I'll keep explaining. However, when you're in a new measure, that rule breaks, and then you're back to regular G's. No problems. Now, say you have the sharp right here. Are these first two G's? Yes. Are they G sharps? No. So it affects, so once we have the G sharp, this one's G sharp, and this one's G sharp. So it affects all the notes to the right of that note of the same note within the same measure. So what I mean by that is that this is G sharp and this is G sharp. However, when you move this to a different note, it's not sharp anymore. So you got G, G, G sharp. So it sounds like this. And then regular A, and then back to G's. Now, say you had this as a G sharp, the second one. So you have G, G sharp. This is also G sharp. And then this is just regular A because it's a different note. It doesn't affect it. So say you want this to be regular G again because it falls under that little rule. You bring in the wow, I can't believe that worked. You bring in the natural sign. So now you got G, G sharp, back to G, then to A, and then you're in the clear here, you got all G's. But say now they have a sharp on this one. So now this measure is G, G, G sharp, because it's the same note to the right of it in the same measure. So I think now you got it. What about this note? What note is this? Well, here's G sharp. Is this E sharp? No, it's a different note. So just keep that in mind. It's a little tricky to get the hang of at first. Flats work the exact same way. You got 4 G's again. The first one is a G flat. Therefore, now they're all G flats. What if you move this one to D? Is this a D flat? No, it needs a flat on it because it only affects those to the right of it within the same measure. So you would, if you wanted that regular G, you would bring it there. Or if you wanted that one to be a regular G, you'd bring it there. Now, and you notice when I did that, it took away that natural and placed it there. That's because once you hit G flat, you hit G natural. The natural does the same thing. It affects all of the same note within the same measure. So this brings this one even back to G natural. Got it? All right, so it's up to you to read through all the pages we talked about, fill in any of the blanks that they ask you to fill in. Let me know if you have any help in the comment, need any help in the comments. Let me know what page you're on, please, and what you're talking about. That helps me out so much. Anyways, yeah, go through, do the music crossword puzzle. I don't know how much you're going to get out of it. Well, you know, it'll help you, like, remember and retain. There is quite a bit of memorization, especially with this early stuff. So there's more to this course. This is actually the end of book 1 in this this book right here. Again, you can get it. Link is in the description. We're going to continue, obviously, the course into book 2. Hopefully finish out book 2. And then we will continue after that. So make sure to check out the next lesson right here when you're ready for it. Make sure you're subscribed with all notifications turned on because new lessons coming out all the time. You don't want to miss a beat. It's been Tim here. Thank you so much for coming by today. And I'll see you, yes, in the next lesson. Have a great day.